Yo, man, we back with another episode of On the Couch with Trap, man. Today I got another special guest. I got my boy BStroke, owner of the Cream clothing brand, man. Make sure y'all tap in with BStroke. Cream, the bakery is open, man. You feel what I'm talking about,
Cream
man?
team, dream team, cream team. You know what I'm saying? The cream work make the dream work in the cream shirt. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? That's what we on. So, man, today, man, we gonna hop into an episode just talking, chopping it up with bro, man, about his brand. You know what I'm saying? About how he got started, doing clothing. Just we gonna dig deep into the brand in the background, man. Let y'all know, man. We gonna make sure y'all get to know B Stroke more better through this interview and get familiar with the brand if you're not already familiar, man. So make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe, man. Tap in, man. This shit gonna be good, man.
Long overdue and much appreciated.
Yeah, you're right. For everybody that don't know, bro, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell them where you from, man. Tell them about a little bit about yourself, man.
BStroke, Bryson, depending on where you met me at. From Florence, South Carolina, the South Side. The side they said where the swag resides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Started off here in school at South Florence, ventured off to college, North Carolina A&T, picked up my tools and fuse from here and there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always been into clothing, got into fashion more so when I went to school. I had a partner named Migo. He put me on the streetwear, so I mixed that with the Ralph Lauren that I was accustomed to.
Yeah.
And we just picked up and moved on from there.
Yeah, and like I noticed what you just said. You said, I always been into clothing, but I got into fashion. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a difference, and that's one thing that I noticed, like just from the outside looking in, just watching, how you orchestrate your brand and like the way you do what you do. I knew that you were a person that was into fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, could you break down like what it is, the difference, or in your opinion, what's the difference between just being into clothing but then being into fashion? You know what I'm saying?
Most of us are into clothing, just pieces that look cool with what most people would gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
When I say I'm into fashion, I'm into finding pieces that everybody wouldn't wear.
Mm-hmm.
Not about what you have on, but how you piece it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take something from the clearance rack over here, mix it with the Ralph Lauren. It just having an eye for it.
Right. Nah, yeah, definitely. And I could commend you on that because I got a clothing brand, Just Trap brand,
Just Trap.
but it's like I'm into clothing. I'm not that. I'm
Right.
I'm learning fashion.
Right.
I didn't grow up
Right.
into. I never grew up saying like I wanted to be a fashion designer. I never looked to that type of lane, or never thought that was going to be an avenue that I was going to be in today. So I more so got into this as it was a hustle. It was
Right.
something, that a product,
A niche
a
that
product
you
that I found that
A
was
niche
selling
that you
for
find.
me. You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So when it started selling for me, as I gradually was going on, I started to more fall in love with the
You
game
fell in
of
love
it.
with the hustle
You know what I'm
first, and
Yeah,
after a while, you learn the appreciation,
yeah,
and gain the
yeah,
appreciation for fashion.
yeah. But I can always appreciate the people that really like came up into fashion. That's why I never call myself a fashion designer. I
Right.
never say
Right.
that I'm a fashion designer because I know that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I wanted you to like kind of share with the people, just that difference for those that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? For them to be able to understand like both things are cool. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
not wrong if you just into clothing or if you into fashion, but it's just a difference. Like I wouldn't be out here calling myself a fashion designer if
Right.
I really don't.
Just
study
understanding
fashion.
that they're not mutually exclusive. They two things that exist in two different realms.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I always, not gonna say always, but at a point in time when I learned that I was into clothing and into fashion, that was the point where I wanted to have a clothing line.
Right.
This was something that started like my 9th, 10th grade year at South Florence.
Okay.
They had a graphics course.
Mm.
And in that graphics course, making the graphics was cool, but there was another side to it. We actually pressed clothes in there as well.
Okay.
So 9th, 10th grade, that's when I first gained my appreciation for actually being hands-on and pressing clothes.
Yeah. Okay. That's
so
dope.
it started that early.
That early, right? So from there, like when did you like start developing like your own brand and your own concepts? From starting at that early age, when did you start to say like I'm gonna start my own brand? I'm gonna start developing my own concepts of clothing.
So I was coming up with ideas as far as names go.
Yeah.
So I knew I didn't want to start until I had a name in mind. So that was always the hardest thing to do.
I agree.
So this was after my freshman, sophomore year in college, came home, working with my pops at Solo's Auto Sales. I was washing cars over there, running errands. I just so happened to go run an errand for him. I think I'm going to pick up a car.
Yeah.
Go pick up the car from Opolis. And the Opolis sign was like a little bubble font. But the thing that drew me in the most was the S was a dollar sign. For some odd reason, I just say, I wonder how this would look stylized as cream. For whatever reason, I've always had an attachment to the Wu-Tang song, Cash Rules Everything Around Me.
Right.
Unbeknownst to me, that's the name I chose and went with.
Right.
Had a partner of mine that I went to school with. He drew it up for me. Added the sprinkles, added to the cream aesthetic.
Yeah.
Got it digitized, and we was on from there.
Right.
Pressing that on t-shirt.
Yeah, I remember seeing your stuff like before I knew you. I remember like because back in the day when I first started to doing clothing, it wasn't a whole bunch of people that was like in this area. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot. So I was seeing your stuff popping around. I used to just wonder, like, man, whose stuff is that? That shit look pretty cool. And then I found, I don't know how I found your page or something, but then I started following you and checking you out. But I always admired your creativity as far as design and the way you like display your brand.
I always admired your business savvy.
Yeah.
Something that I'm still and I've always wanted to jump deeper in.
Yeah.
But I'm so attached to the love of design and the love of piecing the stuff together. That was on the back burner, and it's something that I'm now
getting into it. And I think that goes back to like when I talk about being a team, like how you said earlier, like teams of people. Sometimes everybody's not skilled at every single aspect of the spectrum. Right. You know what I'm saying? So one player might not be an all-around player. Like he might be a better designer and a better visualist, but then you got someone else that's better at like business and that part about it. So that's why when people are able to team up those type of people, that's when you create these teams of, you know what I'm saying, of clothing brands that's able to, able to go.
That's why you have positions and roles.
Exactly.
Everybody play their position for the betterment of the team.
It just seems to be harder in our community to get to that.
It's the team aspect.
Yes, it seems to be harder to get to that part. So that's why so many of us are solo runners and stuff like that. Because it's even with people that you might have came up with all your life. It's really hard for you to just meet up with a stranger and get it, but it's even harder when you got people that you came up with all your life and you try to do stuff with them. Sometimes that don't work. Sometimes it don't mesh. And that just leads me to, and I think it was you, if I'm not mistaken, you told me to go watch those guys, the Toulon-esque guys, right? Right. So I went and watched the Toulon-esque guys. And one of the things that stuck out to me about those guys was they team, and they team of people that they said that they came up with, from the younger ages, and a lot of they've been around for a while, but for them to all be our people and able to play their roles and be able to create and make this brand grow, man, I admire that so much because I feel like that's one of the things that I'm lacking in a lot of other people.
Right.
People
as we all are. And the thing I admire the most about those brothers, they showed that it was an alternative route.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go play ball. You didn't have to go rap.
Yeah.
To still be in those spaces with the ball players and the rappers.
Yeah.
You can come up with a cool product, a cool design.
Yeah.
Blow that up to its maximum. Put that on those individuals and still be in the same room. And now they love you just as much. Because you are what they were when they go out. They make memories in your pieces. That's how you make something that lives on beyond you.
Nah, for sure, man. That's dope. And I appreciate you even, like, because that was one brand that I wasn't following or I wasn't checking out, and I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? That was
and I was the same way up until a couple of years ago. I didn't even know they was black brothers.
Right.
I thought it was the LRG concept with some white guys running it that just pushed it to us.
Right.
Some guys of the culture, but these are some brothers that are actually of
yeah,
the culture.
yeah, for sure, man. That's definitely dope. And that team aspect that they have is like I think that contributes a lot to the
Right,
success
to the success of it.
of their brand and the way they got it. You know what I'm saying? So that lead me to a question that goes back to your brand and your life. How like what's your team look like? How do you deal with, you know what I'm saying? How do you deal with the team, or do you have a team behind you, or is it just you that's producing all this content, or that's coming up with these pieces of it? Is what is it? How does the Cream brand go?
Currently, other than the love and the and angel investors, it's a one man show currently. As far as pressing the clothes and marketing and everything as that goes.
Yeah,
But I like to incorporate everybody into the Cream team. So
yeah,
while I'm the one making the clothes, I do outsource and get designs done as of now.
hmm,
I'm I'm releasing the stronghold that I had on the brand.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wanted to do everything. I wanted to design. I wanted to press the clothes. I wanted to be the sole marketer.
Right.
But a thing that I've learned is to maximize your potential, you have to not be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's game. That's game for y'all.
But as far as the Cream team, if you've ever purchased a piece of apparel, you've ever visited my website or my page, if you've ever given me words of encouragement, you are a part of the team, and I appreciate you immensely. You are the reason I keep going, and I couldn't do it without you.
That's what's up, man. Make sure y'all like, man, hit that like button, man. Subscribe, man. Make
Back
sure
on the
y'all
couch with Trap.
check it out, because we definitely on the couch, man. We chopping it up with BStroke, man. And listen, man, this is really a brother that's really, if y'all haven't tapped in with him, man, y'all could tap it, because it's he got creativity with his brand and the way he markets it. You know what I'm saying? To say it's just a small team and it's just a lot of stuff that he was doing, but I really understand what you mean when you say you had the stronghold on it, because it's like your baby, you know what I'm saying? And especially if you really,
Baby, my
if
brainchild.
you know what I'm saying, if you really into fashion, so it's even more your baby. But any business that we start as like ourself or like that, it's kind of like you
Right.
hold it dearly
Right.
to your heart or whatever.
And once you get emotionally invested, it's different from being financially invested.
Right.
The finances you can always get back, but
Right.
that love, it could either grow or you could either lose it.
Right. And see, I think that's one of the things that that I tell, like when I talk about myself and my story, when I think about my brand and everything, I really, like I said, I got into this. It was a hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't that I loved the clothes. I like to dress nice and look good, but I looked at it as another product I was selling,
Right.
and it was selling for me. So now I had to keep focusing on selling, because I was a cameraman first, and I thought I loved cameras, but I ended up learning about myself that I love business. You know what I'm saying?
So boom, that's one story I'm interested in. How we make it from Chicago to Florence, South Carolina, and how we get this strap from the camera.
Well, I came to Florence, South Carolina, damn near 20 years ago now, when I was younger than I am now, and I was in the streets and getting in trouble and stuff. And my uncle, he was in South Carolina, and he came from the military, so that's how I never even heard of South Carolina at this time in the early 2000s. I heard of North Carolina because of the Charlotte Hornets or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I never heard of South Carolina. But my uncle was telling my mom, like, yo, I'm down here. I got a place down here, man. If y'all need to get out the city, basically you want to get away from the city. So they was basically trying to get me out of the environment that I was in. I wasn't really feeling like doing it, but I'm glad, looking back at hindsight, I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad they was able to convince me to do this, because it changed my life. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's really how I got down here. Just my people trying to keep me out of the streets, and my uncle just happened to be down here as his last stop before he retired in the military. He had a woman down here, and he convinced my mother to just leave the city. And she really, I didn't want to come at the time. They basically forced me to come down here. I was ready to go to the street. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But I got down here, and when I finally started accepting what was happening, you know what I'm saying? Because I was separated from everybody that I ever knew, that I ever grew up with. I didn't have no family here except for my uncle and then my mama. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like nobody, no cousins or nobody that I ever grew up with was around me. And for years and years, as I went through that type of life without having people around me that I grew up with, I started becoming comfortable with being alone, right? You know what I'm saying? I started being comfortable with not,
Finding
yeah,
solace in your
yeah, not
solitude.
having people around me, or not worried about what somebody else's opinion may be, or not asking for anything, just doing
Right.
whatever the hell I felt like doing. You know what I'm saying? However I felt like doing, taking the risk. Because early on in my life, I knew that I wasn't meant to work jobs. I
Right.
tried it. I worked a lot of jobs all the way up until 2008. You know what I'm saying? Until I was 25 years old, I worked jobs. You know what I'm saying? And at 25, I didn't have a high school diploma or GED, but the last job that I was at, I knew that I didn't want to work no more. You know what I'm saying? So I had to figure out how I was not gonna work no more, and I really didn't know. But I quit my job at that time. I signed myself up for the GED program because I'm like, man, I'm gonna start my own business. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I signed myself up for a GED program. Went and got the GED real quick. Signed myself up for the Florence Daughters of Technical College, and I just started going to school for business management and whatever in marketing. And looking back, I didn't learn a lot of stuff from going to school really from that. I mean, the basics or whatever.
Right.
It wasn't like they taught me shit that I'm really in here doing. You know what I'm saying? But I went through that just to accomplish it to myself, and you know what I'm saying, get that. But along the way, I've been trying to find myself. Along
Right.
the way, I've been trying to find like what is it that my purpose is? What am I supposed to be doing? Because I know it's not working nobody else's job. So I tried so many different things. You know what I'm saying? I tried. I had a nightclub. I was in a nightclub business. I had photography businesses. I took pictures at the club. I was the video man doing music videos. And I really thought that I was gonna be doing videos. You know what I'm saying? I thought that to the point where I signed up and went to Full Sail to learn more
Sheesh.
about about videos, and then ended up getting myself in a lot of debt with some shit that I ain't even
Full
using.
Sail
It's
expensive.
expensive. You see what
I
I'm saying?
saw.
You
I
know what I'm
saw.
saying? And I'm not even using it. You know
Consider
what I'm saying?
graphics
You
once.
feel me?
I saw the tuition.
It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I got myself in a lot of debt with something that I'm not even using, when the business that's paying me, I learned off YouTube for
Right.
free. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I learned everything that I know about this for free off of YouTube, and then everything else I learned from going through it. So I wouldn't say it was free because I paid a lot of dues
Right.
going through
Right.
it, but I learned just by trial and error.
I
You
got
know
a
what I'm saying?
4-year degree in business management with a focus in entrepreneurship from North Carolina A&T.
Mm-hmm.
I learned way more valuable information from YouTube University
Right.
than I did from my illustrious university.
Exactly.
And it's no shot at A&T,
Yeah.
but what I needed
What
personally
I needed to know, it wasn't there.
wasn't necessarily there. And
Yeah.
I appreciate the experience because I wouldn't be here and cream probably wouldn't be a thing.
Right.
But I got more from my entrepreneurship classes than just the standard general business management courses.
Right, exactly. Because that's what a lot of times the college courses boil down to, the standards. You know, they'll
Right.
teach you
Right.
general accounting, they'll teach you general things about business, but they never teach you what you really know
There
when
you
you
go.
actually running
There
a
you go.
business. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that you go through and learn when you actually running that business is some whole nother information. And sometimes when we go to YouTube, we find other people that's actually running businesses that's like-minded, that's
Same
talking
fields
about,
that you.
you know what I'm saying, that's talking about the things we need to hear. So if you're a person that's able to dissect information from different people, and then you don't mind listening to hour-long
Right.
things and these things like that, and you can dissect and take things from each video and apply it, then you can learn a lot for free from YouTube
Exactly.
University. You know what I'm saying? You can learn
And
a
it's
whole
crazy because entrepreneurship is one of the oldest concepts we have in this country, but it's one of the topics we have the least knowledge about.
Right.
Unless you hands on and go do it.
Right.
That's one thing you just can't teach somebody how to do. They got to go learn. They got to fall, scrape their knee, get the bumps and bruises to know how to elevate,
Exactly.
to know what not to do and what to do.
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of times these brands are, especially now post COVID, you know, these real internet viral brands is what I call them. You know what I'm saying? They don't really know the real. Now I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of times, and especially this, the people that's really watching the viral brands and thinking that that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's really gonna happen, or is that's like, not saying it can't happen, but it's a small percentage of people that happens for. You know what I'm saying?
There's gonna be a time and day we have to have a real conversation about people who take this seriously and people who slap logos on t-shirts, sweatshirts, and sweatpants.
Yeah, talk about it.
A lot of people aren't cultivating brands.
Yeah.
They're introducing t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I can go get a t-shirt from anywhere.
Right.
Corner store. Nike makes amazing. Ralph Lauren is my favorite brand. I could easily. Why should I shop with you?
Right.
What makes you so special? What makes you so different that I should give you my money as opposed to a brand that's trusted and has been here for years?
That's true.
That's where the branding comes into play.
Exactly.
Well, beyond the t-shirt, what is it? What does this mean to you? What does this mean to everybody else? Mm-hmm. If those questions can't be answered, then we are slapping logos on t-shirts.
Nah, that's a fact.
Go back to the drawing board, find the love for it, come back, and maybe we'll receive you different.
Right.
But until you do so, that's a Gildan t-shirt with your logo on it, player.
Right, exactly. So to the people out there that's watching, to the people out there that's listening, because like we said before, on the couch, we do like to have good conversations, and we also like to share game and share knowledge. It's a difference between branding a brand and a line, a t-shirt line or a clothing line or whatever you might want to call it. Those are different things, and we have to understand. So when you sitting back wondering like why you might not be selling stuff or why people not buying it or why people not attracted to it, is because you don't understand what attracts people to buy. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand what triggers people to buy, and stories and relatability and things that people can gravitate to because they're going through it or they're been through it. That's the lifestyle that they live. You know, those type of things are points that sway people to spend their money with you, not just any trusted brand or any high profile brand out there that they could be spending with, because like he said, everybody can slap something on a shirt, and we in the era of slapping on shirts right now. You know what I'm saying? We is in that era where the new cool thing to do is to slap something on a shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Like, make a clothing line.
Yeah, it's the new thing to do. That's
where the semantics kick in too, because like you said, some people are cultivating clothing lines and some people are building brands.
Yeah.
I want to build a brand that's gonna last longer than I will.
Exactly.
And it's almost most synonymous to the music industry. I look at Cream, my baby. I look at Cream as I'm dropping mixtapes. These are installments to a mixtape series. Whereas where I view just trap, maybe it's a record deal, maybe it's independence, but you dropping albums.
Right.
I aspire to drop albums.
Right.
But until I'm able to do so at this level, my mixtapes are gonna be immaculate.
Exactly.
I can still slang them out the trunk and they can still be quality.
Right.
Versus somebody on the come up and you can tell that they're on the come up.
Right.
I shouldn't be able to tell that you in the closet.
Right. You feel
you being in the closet should add to the fact and add to the story, add to the branding aspect. You did that in the closet, my boy. I couldn't even tell.
It's like you said, when you say it goes back to the music. When people were making their CDs, right, independent artists, right, you had those guys that got the artwork done, got the hard CD case, you know, put the disc with the artwork on the disc. They got the little sticker to go on the disc. They had the whole presentation, even though they was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Even though they was doing it, they might have recorded it in their crib. They might have did the whole production in the crib, but you don't know because the presentation is making it seem as though it's bigger than what it is, because now it goes to perception and the perception of the way people perceive things. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason. That's why I would tell people. That's what I always told people. When it came to my brand, even when I was small, I made it look big.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I was small, I never used words like I and me. I use words like we and us. You understand what I'm saying? When you say I and me, it's singular.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It means, so to a smart person that's listening to you, they gonna think that you do everything. It's I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. Now I say, yeah, we can do it. I might be the only nigga here doing everything. I'd be like, yeah, we can do it. We got it. You know what I'm saying? We'll handle it. Because I want you to perceive my image as bigger, because I know I'm going bigger. I know I'm going there.
Even if the team ain't here now, they're gonna be here.
You know what I'm saying? I know where we going. So why would I why would I sell it short for anything else? Why would I sell myself short by using verbiage that sells me short? You know what I'm saying?
And another thing I learned, and what has helped with the success of Cream, you make everybody feel involved because they are. Just like how you said you done gave them enough trap for free.
Mm-hmm.
Now to weed out who's really with you.
Really with me.
We're gonna see how many people send that text. We're gonna see how many people become members.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Just Trap membership program coming soon. You know what I'm saying?
It started February 1st. So if you're not a member, make sure you text the number. I'm gonna drop
the time. The time is not.
Because when the website closed, you won't have access, man. You just won't have access, and it's because it's I'm in my 8th year as a retail clothing business. You know, so I'm in my 6th year with Just Trap brand.
That's to be.
You know what I'm saying? I've had a retail store where I paid rent, overhead, inventory, everything for 8 years now. You know what I'm saying? Off of something I learned off YouTube.
Words to get familiar with if you desire to have a storefront. Overhead.
It's more than just rent too. We have overhead of all of this product that I'm sitting out here displaying for people to come thumb through and try on.
Any inventory that sits, equipment needs to be worked on and checked.
Yeah,
you know, we gotta upgrade needles. We gotta do all of this. We gotta order our blanks. We gotta get our designs intact. Mm-hmm. Let's say we have to outsource some products. There's a lot of things that go into it that a lot of people don't think about.
They don't think about, and they don't realize.
Which is what separates the brands from the logo slap on.
Nah, I feel you. Nah, it definitely. And I was talking to a young guy the other day. I think it was the day before yesterday. He was in here to get a sample for his brand, and we were just talking about it. And he really made me realize a lot of things because, like you said, when you asked me that question about how I really got to Just Trap, along the way of my journey of being in South Carolina and being here, like I said, I learned to be alone. I feel like somewhere in there I turned into like kind of a robotic type of person that's used to the routine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just able to keep on doing it. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of people would tap out, I programmed myself to keep on doing it.
It was normal.
It was normal. But then when dude said, when he he asked me what was what was one of my biggest like accomplishments or something like that. And really I had to sit back to think like, damn, I started thinking like, yo, I got a lot of small wins that I really never celebrated. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn how to still keep going, but I had how to celebrate the small wins because the small wins do help keep you going and propel us to the big wins. You know, you can never not celebrate the small wins. And it was just something, he brought that to my attention. I'm like, man, I really did a lot of stuff that's considered big to people, but I like did it and then just like forgot about it and just kept on trying to do something else because I'm forever looking towards this big goal that where I want to be. So, but I can't forget why I'm looking toward this big goal to be grateful, thankful, and celebration of the smaller wins that's leading me.
You're looking for the finish line, but you ain't appreciating the checkpoints.
The checkpoints, you know what I'm saying?
Which we all do at times. Yeah. I'm a victim of it myself.
Right.
But the piggyback off of that, and I hate saying piggyback, but the build off of that.
Yeah.
The small wins in a business sense. What do you feel like is one of the biggest losses, the biggest setbacks?
Man, my biggest setback, one of the biggest setbacks is when I had to move stores after being in a location for 5.5 years. I had to relocate under duress.
I'm interested in that story.
Yeah.
Because I'm just curious. It was on the south side for so long. And and y'all both did y'all own thing.
Right.
So as an entity that was once one, how did y'all paths diverge in a sense?
It was really, for those that don't know, me and my partner Cosmic Soul, he owns a shoe store. We both in 2014, 2015, we both was in our house doing our craft. I was just learning about making clothes and just had got my first vinyl machine, and I'm pressing vinyl in my bedroom, and he's at his house selling on eBay in his trailer in his bedroom, cleaning shoes, just doing all of this stuff.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the shoe business, so
Shout
I
out
I
to JP.
I end up, yeah, shout out to JP for sure, and I end up getting the opportunity to get like a little smaller little cubicle store. Right before we had the big store, I had got a little cubicle, and it was all in the same year, 2015. All this happened within 2015. So I got a little cubicle first, and that was my first little setup location. Boom. So in the same plaza where we were at on Third Loop, the landlord kept telling me like, yo, the space on the end is finna become. I got to get these people out of here. They not really paying. I want to get them out of here. Blah blah blah. So at that time, I really didn't even know how I was gonna pay a rent of $1,200. You know what I'm saying? At that time, this was prior to Just Trap brand. This was prior. I had another brand called the Only Pure Elevation. That's where I first started at. It was dope.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I
Dope.
first started at when I first got into this. You know what I'm saying? So I was pushing that brand at that time, and it was okay, but it hadn't took off like how Just Trap had took off eventually in the future. But I was just doing that, and I really didn't know like how am I going to afford to pay $1,200? How am I going to do this? But I was just kept telling the landlord like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get it, man, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. So the time came when he was like, finally got the people out, and he like, man, you gonna get it. So I was trying to figure out like how can I orchestrate this because I knew it was something too big for me at the time. So I went and hollered at my boy JP, and it was a guy that I knew. He a lot younger than me, but I knew him for his business ethic. I knew him for his hustle. I knew he was that type of person. You know what I'm saying? So I knew if we got into a business together, he would always hold his own. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't be a type of business guy that's gonna leave me with the shit and be tapping out. So I hollered at him, and at that time he wasn't even thinking about a store. He didn't really even see the vision of the store. But I was just telling him like, man, we can get this location, man. I got it. So we talked about it.
Because he was selling on eBay.
He was selling on eBay.
No
it wasn't no overhead with it or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was just like profit. You know what I'm saying? But he got the small crib shoes stacked up in there. He got, you know what I'm saying? It's getting like that.
Taking out space.
So I take him to the place. I take him to the building and I show him and I just tell him I want the way the store was laid out. I was just had the vision like, yo, you can have shoes on this side. You know what I'm saying? I can have the clothes on this side, man. We can make this thing, this boutique style thing, and just do it. And so he was like, yeah, man. He saw the vision at that time. He was like, man, I'm with it. So from that point on, I went and put everything in motion, man. And we just took off from there. We just started this thing together at that time, right? So fast forward through the years, we there year after year. We go through year 1, we go through year 3, then we approaching year 5, and where they say businesses don't even make it, and this was all something we just came up with. Really, we was doing our thing, but it wasn't really like we just knew we was just gonna have a retail business. You know what I'm saying? So we kept going and look up. It was year 5, and now we going through some trials and tribulations with the landlord because the landlord is trying to sell the property. He trying to get up, the tire property. He trying to get up out of there. Andy was cool, and shout out to Andy. He was a great landlord. He was ready. He was old. He was ready to get up out of there. Yeah. So he ended up selling the property to some lawyer guy, some young rich guy out of Charleston, white guy that ended up buying this whole property or whatever. And when they came through, the property man came through on BS for sure. Like he came through just like trying to change up everything. He tried to tell me and JP the rent going up to 2,500. Y'all got a double suite from 1,200 to 2,500. Yeah. He like, yo, the rent going up. But now he like, y'all got double suites, woo woo. So now I'm like, bro, we don't have double suites. We have a single suite because we only have one bathroom. Yes, we have double doors, but if this was a double 2 businesses, he would have his. I can put a wall right here. He can't even go to the bathroom now.
Y'all would exist.
We would exist as 2 businesses. So that's if I put a wall up, he has no bathroom. That's not a business. So how we gonna charge us for 2 businesses? So we was going back and forth with them, and it was just getting really like taking a toll on me personally because of it was taking a toll on my creativity to come up with. Because you got to understand, I was building a brand. I had a custom business. These are businesses that I started from scratch, from the bottom, from the dirt. You know, I had to dig my way out to every customer. They coming to me because I have to encourage them to spend with me. They're not spending with me because I got a product that's in high demand. So this thing that I'm doing with the landlord is taking a toll on me. It's taking a toll on my brain. It's taking a toll on everything. So I started telling P like, yo, man, I gotta go, bro. I gotta leave this, man, because we steady fighting with them. We steady fighting. They steady sending me letters. I'm talking about this was going. We went on for a whole another half a year.
Conversations getting
Just
redundant.
going, just getting steady. The same thing is steady. They not doing nothing. Well, I'm not giving. I'm just giving them the rent. I'm giving them this. It's just getting crazy, man. They steady sending letters, threats, all type of stuff. So, and mind you, since I had been dealing with the business side of that building from the beginning, right. JP really wasn't dealing with the business side of that building. I was all so everything they were saying and everything was all coming to me. He was just over there at work, so it really not affecting his work or his flow. He just at work, you know what I'm saying, just doing his thing. So I started looking for a place to try to find a place. Long story short, I started trying to find a place to keep both of us together. I couldn't find. It was no places that could situation to let us do it. So I told him, I said, bro, man, look, like the dynasty gonna come to an end, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, we always gonna be brothers, but I gotta go, bro. I can't. This shit fucking with me, man. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up finding this place. I had spent my last, I ain't gonna say my last, but damn near my last 30 in this motherfucker. Just everything that I really just had to the side, I put it into this. You know what I'm saying? Because this was a shithole, man. If I show you the pictures later, how this looked before I came in, it was terrible.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy, and I didn't think about it until you just said it. Okay, story for y'all. The logo slapper owners. I was once a logo slapper owner when I didn't know better.
Right.
I was trying to create a brand, but I was slapping that logo.
Right.
I'm a vinyl baby. I like to think of myself as the vinyl guru in Florence, South Carolina. I still pick up the machine every now and then, so if you need something, feel free.
Right.
Y'all know where I'm at, feel free. I actually used to come get vinyl from right over here.
Right in the store. It was Kim's Vinyl.
Kim's Vinyl.
I used ugly as hell in here, that blue walls.
Ugly as hell.
It was just
ugly as hell. You just come in here for what you
need to go. It wasn't pretty.
At least 2 to 5 times a week.
Right.
Just the regular.
So and that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And when you say this man is the vinyl guru, because I seen some vinyl that he was doing.
Shit, and you ain't supposed to be able to do.
People used to come in my store sometimes wearing one of your shirts, and I used to touch them like, yo, let me see that shirt real quick, man. So this vinyl right here? Because when you looking at it on the computer or on the internet, I can't really tell that it was vinyl. It's looking like some screen print, some digital print. It's looking crazy. But then when I see it in person, I'm touching like, man, it's vinyl, man. How the heck this boy do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always wondered that. That's crazy because I always wonder, like, man, this boy remixing the hell out of this vinyl. This is before I even knew, bro. I'm like just seeing the merch, and I remember asking Ellis, like, yo, man, who because Ellis was wearing one. I said, man, who is this right here, man? Because this dude is doing some stuff with vinyl that like, man, that's what BStroke, man. You don't know Cream? Like, nah, man, but I need to know who the heck is behind this vinyl work right here.
And this is the thing about me going to school. It's, you know, me from the crib is BStroke.
Right.
When I went to school, Cream just became a thing.
Right.
So one thing that I really appreciate, Cream can exist without my face on. Because when I meet people now, they be like, that's you, bro?
Right.
That's you?
Right.
Bro, nah, bro. I've been looking for you for like 2 years.
Right. That's crazy.
So I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Definitely.
I love that.
Let me ask you this: what would you say that, like going to college? I know you said that college you didn't learn as much and stuff about the business, but what would you say that college actually helped as far as your brand? How did college, being a college student, being on campus and stuff like that, how did that help your brand?
College gave me perspective. College taught me. Just because you may not be a fan of something, there's a large demo that is. So a lot of times you may have to put your pride aside in order to get that win. Sometimes Mike had to pass the ball to Steve Kerr to get that game won. So college, and aside from that, college taught me networking. I got a network of friends now. I got one. He's in A&R for Audio Mac.
Right.
I got another. He's a marketing director for Nike.
Right.
I got a partner now. He got his own podcast called Run Your Race. He do that with a current NBA player. It just introduced me to a whole network of individuals I never would have met in the confines of Florence, South Carolina.
No, for sure. And I think that's important. I think that's one of the things that, although college sometimes don't give us everything we need as far as the business or whatever we trying to get into, but one thing that you can get from college is a solid network, a solid
Right.
group of friends,
Right.
like for lifers. You know what I'm saying? People that
For
you
lifers.
that you gonna that you gonna
didn't
be.
even grow up
You didn't
with
grow up with them, but they
But
become that.
Y'all didn't grow up together, but y'all grew up together.
Because y'all went through that phase of life together.
Y'all went
You know
through
what I'm
different experiences.
Yeah.
I fell off the bike with you. I stole a candy bar with you back in the day.
Right.
I cried with you.
Right.
We went through emotional turmoil together.
Because we in that stage where we transitioning from being a kid with parents to our own time on our own and learning on our own. So when you in that phase and you going through certain peak things in life with certain people at that point in your life, it's bonds that can get solid.
Because now you choose who's going to be in your life, as opposed to the same faces you see every day, grew up every day with for the past 10 years. Now I can choose not to associate, or disassociate myself with you. These are the choices we make now.
Right. No, I feel you, man. So that's dope. That's because like I say, I did get to the technical college, but I never experienced the college. Then when I was at the technical college, I was already past like 25, 26 years old already at that time when I went there. But it's different than when you go to the college, when you at that college age and you go off to another college and you're not even where your hometown is. That's just a different experience that I was never experienced. But I do know a lot of people that have experienced, and then that's one thing that y'all have in common is like everybody that did that, we got a network of people that they, you know what I'm saying, for life was with. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad I got that because college turned me into a hermit in a sorts. Like I found my Rob Kardashian swag in school. Like I'm in North Carolina. It's right there, but it's far. Like freshman year, I got my partner with me, my right hand. Shout out to Ray Ray. Got my right hand with me. We go together. First year, cool. He's the one that keeping me involved in the academics. I see the grades he gets. Shine. If my dog can get an A, I can get an A too. So my GPA was lovely.
Right.
GPA, everything is what it's supposed to be. But I ain't feeling school. Me and Ray, we trapping back down to the crib every weekend. Whenever we got an open opportunity, we coming back. We fast forward to my sophomore year. Ray don't come back. Ray go to Coastal. So now I'm left to learn, operate, and navigate this motherfucker on my own.
Right.
Fortunate enough, I found some partners from North Carolina that helped the navigation a little easier. But without my partner, it was just me versus North Carolina. That's when I tapped into the fashion. I'm studying that. So now, as opposed to just being into clothes, I'm learning about the designers.
Right. I'm
learning about the history of the brands. I'm learning that Ralph Lauren, real name ain't Ralph Lauren. He's a Jewish guy from the Bronx named Ralph Libowitz or something like that.
Right. He
just found his swag in the culture, created a brand, and now we have Ralph Lauren. Right.
That's crazy. Nah, that's dope, man. That's definitely dope, man. I admire that, man, just to be able to have that experience and to be able to, take from that what you took from that, man, and applying it how you apply it, you know what I'm saying? Because that is one of the things that I didn't get to do. So I love to sit down and talk to people, especially in this same business, this clothing industry, but that have had different experiences.
Different perspective. And I always say, if you can afford to do so, experience college.
Right.
Experience a 4-year university so you can see if it is for you or if it ain't for you. Whether it is or it's not, you're going to meet some individuals that you're going to build lifelong bonds with to ultimately make whatever you want to do in life grow, progress, and get wherever you needed to be.
That's dope, man. See, that's coming from somebody that he can tell you that because he actually experienced that, you know what I'm saying? And like me personally, I don't
think it was for me.
Right.
I'm the guy we did it and we made it out.
We made it out, you know what I'm saying? I'm the guy that signed up for these colleges and really got in debt, but then I look back at it like I didn't even get to get the experience because I didn't get to go to Full Sail to the campus. I had kids while I was doing it. I had to do this online. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get to go be there with the audio engineers and be there with the on the movie sets and experience what I was really paying this $50,000 tuition for. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get to do that, so it was just like I'm doing this shit in Florence. I can barely find people to help me shoot a scene.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like,
and that's one thing I got to commend you on, big bro. Before Just Trap, we didn't have like a culture for Florence.
Right.
Like you're not even from here, which is the crazy thing.
Right.
You created a culture shift within our PD ecosystem.
Right.
That's to be commended. Then you and JP got together, got the store. These is the swag for the weekend, and you can go right over the threshold to get the sneakers to piece it all together.
Right. Yeah.
I saw what you was doing. Said, oh yeah, this is a lane that exists. And all right. Mitch done dropped his album. I'm gonna come through with this dedication series, right. And they gonna love me. They gonna love Wayne just like how they love Hov.
Exactly, for sure. That's real talk, man. I really respect that and appreciate you saying that because, like I know that when I started the wave and that I started in this area because I was looking at it when it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And right above me is a lot of accolades from the times when I was getting almost all the accolades because it really wasn't nobody to compete with me. You know
what Mitch was to Florence fashion is what Nicki Minaj was to the rap game, to the female rap scene for the longest.
Right. You know what I'm
saying? Best brand, best clothing brand, best clothing line. All them going to Mitch at Just Trap every time. It was all before I know who Mitch from Just Trap is.
Yeah, it was that, and I inspired a lot of the wave around, and I wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to, because I come from a city, and I have a bigger vision than what I was seeing in the town, and I wanted to be like a person to bring that bring that culture here and to help inspire. And I'm seeing it come about. I just wish more people would like come together because we could really make this bigger if we not, because like I didn't do this for people to like, of course, if every sport is other teams, so other teams can play in the same game as competition, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we all are putting on for the culture of this area. So we can make this area look like it's supposed to look. You know what I'm saying?
Make this area. About it. All the teams exist under one league.
Right.
We can play together. We can advance together.
Right. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We definitely can play together. We definitely can advance together because in order to put on for the outsiders, we got to be strong as a unit. You know what I'm saying? We can't be having internal turmoil within our league. You know what I'm saying?
And we trying to got it, don't
show it to the rest of the people.
That's when they're going to attack it.
Yeah, that's when they're going to attack it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to know how to have that, like you say, not show it, to deal with it internally in our system. But at the same time, when we putting out to the masses, we putting out a product in products that represent all of us in this area because this is what they look at when they look at our stuff. Right. So if we tearing each other down, not trying to help each other, not trying to lead each other to where everybody's doing and looking their best, when people look at us as from a bigger standpoint, they're gonna see that and they're gonna keep looking over, and you wonder why this area got looked over for so long. It's because we gotta learn that, whether it was music, whether it was fat, whatever it was, we had to learn how to.
I'm gonna fuck them up with this. Ralph Lauren, Supreme, Bape, USPA. These are all fashion houses that exist in the same city.
Right.
You can go shop here. You can go shop there. It's room for everybody to eat. Mm-hmm. If we all operate off the each one, teach one within our own ecosystem,
it'll grow.
Just like the rap scene, man. Y'all niggas get it together and start working together, man.
For real,
it's the cream team and the Just Trap connection.
Man, this is why we doing it on the couch, man. Hit that like button, subscribe. This is why we doing it. We doing it to show that we can bring this together. We can share ideas. We can share the same space.
5 fingers make a hand and a fist.
You feel me? So it's not empire. It's not nothing that that can't be done. It's not what the audience or what the people on the internet may be looking at it and trying to pit it up as. It's not that, because
Right.
that's just a mentality
Right.
that people have been trained to have for so long that they don't know anything else. But we have to be the ones to show them the difference. We have to be willing to show. And I think one thing about myself is, being that I wasn't from around here, I was always willing to take lashes for this area, to take lashes of showing people. It was a lot of losses and a lot of lashes and a lot of lessons just to be able to show that it was possible, just to be able to show like, yeah, we can do this, just for you to somebody else to come and believe like, yeah, okay, I can do that now, because he ain't really no different than me. So if he can, I can. But if nobody ever take them lashes, nobody ever take the ridicule, if
Right.
nobody ever take
Right.
what, not worrying about what people gonna think of them if they do this, if nobody never is willing to take that risk, then we ain't gonna grow. So I had to lay down and take those risks to show people, yeah, man, yeah, you should take them risks too. You know what I'm saying?
To add on to that, I think you had a lot of folks scared to try to start a clothing brand. And I say that because you had the storefront so early.
Right.
You almost made it seem it's attainable because you have it.
Right.
And it's a thing. We can go, we can see the clothes, we can pick them up, we can purchase. But the fact that you had a storefront,
right.
This nigga's doing something else.
Right.
God, but it's the perception.
It's the perception.
It make it seem like something it may not be.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I see what you're doing, but I also see what I aspire to be.
Right.
I don't want to be the next Ralph Lauren. I don't want to be the Black Ralph Lauren. I want to be BStroke, and I want to have an entity that lives and people love just as much, if not more, than Ralph Lauren. When I saw you doing what you were doing, I saw that this is something that I can bring and add to the city, as opposed to somebody, oh man, it's got a storefront, we can't do this.
Right.
When cream became a thing, these people seeing me, I'm the vinyl, I'm ripping the vinyl, showing it on Instagram, showing it on Facebook, oh nah, Stroke just got a little machine. Like what? Hold up, Stroke, how you get started? How you did it? Doing it in the comforts of my college apartment almost make it seem like it's attainable. I can do that too.
Right.
He doing that at the house. I know I can do that.
Right.
Stroke, where I get that.
Right.
Shit, the game is to be sold, not told.
Right.
Shit. When I'm open book. You can ask me anything and I'm gonna tell you. But when I know you serious, I'm more adept to give you the game and the jewels.
Mm-hmm. Nah, for sure.
People come to me, they get their samples made. They'll get 10 to 20 to 50, even 100 sometimes even 100. When I see you investing so much into something that you love, I'm not going to hold you back.
Right.
You coming to me is more expensive. Let me put you on game, what to do, where to go, so how you can cut costs and still be able to move forward.
That's a fact. And he said some valuable information for y'all got to be able to catch on. When somebody is showing signs of them putting in effort, it makes it easier for one with knowledge to give up free game.
Who would I be to gatekeep?
Right. You see what I'm saying? But when you a person that don't even want you, I'm telling you what to look at. You don't even want to look at nothing. You don't even want to do none of that. You just want me to give you all the answers, and you blatantly showing that you're not going to try to even research or try. It makes it like I don't really want to just start telling you everything, because I know you really not serious enough. You're not even serious enough. You don't want to invest enough. You don't want to invest money. You make, okay, you don't got that much money, but you don't even want to invest brain time.
I like Kobe, man, nah, you can't come work out with me. You ain't serious.
You ain't serious, right? Well, I'm gonna let you come work out, do this king workout. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why I'm gonna come let you do this king workout with me when you do this bull crap that you do every, you know what I'm saying? Why would I let you come in here with me and disturb my peace with the bull crap while you trying to talk to me all day? I'm trying to really, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better. And that's how it be, because there's a lot of people getting in this space that's just getting into it because they saw it on TikTok or because they saw it on this, and they just think that they're gonna be able to pre-order 100 pieces and not have to put no money up and all this. No, see, that's the thing, man. And I'm not knocking nobody, because I love that route of the be able to get the money.
I love to see everybody embracing entrepreneurial pursuits. I love it. I hope don't none of y'all have to clock in ever again. find a niche and
Run it up.
exploit it.
Run it up.
Exploit it and hog the lane for it.
But
go crazy.
Make sure that you're willing to put in the work. Make sure that just because you saw somebody else, have a viral brand, don't let that be your why. I'm just doing it because I seen somebody else do it, and you don't. And now you just doing anything. You're not putting in the time. You're not putting in the research. You're not putting in the work. You're not putting in the effort to run it up like you're supposed to. Then you complaining about why it's not running up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be that type of brand owner. Don't be that type of clothing line owner. Don't be that type of businessman. Don't be that type of person, man. Be the type of person that's willing to put in the work, that's willing to put in the effort. Because when you're willing to put in the effort, those that know and those that may know a little more than you will be willing to share and help push you along the way and help give you anything that they can give you when they come across you, because they're going to be able to see that you are a true person of this game.
Get out this shit, what you put in this shit.
That's anything.
Now, how many designs that you just knew were hits that you might have had to sit on?
Man, I got a lot, man. And I think with my brand, it's because of the inventory thing. You put out certain stuff. So I'm putting it out at a point where I'm not just dropping the sample online and not having it. I'm putting it out and putting it and having these pieces.
Got it.
So I got it on hand. So I'm taking L's, like thinking of something that I'm like, man, I know this, but this wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? I had to be able to continue to go year after year with that. So when I say that I'm doing a members only now, I'm going exclusive now. I'm going exclusive now after taking the route for the last 5 or 6 years of having inventory on here. I'm trying to see what y'all doing now.
And two different perspectives. When I was starting out, and still even at certain times, I was going the made to order route.
Yeah.
To avoid having that overhead and inventory sitting. Because one thing you have to know, inventory sitting is money that you can't spend.
That's there.
That could be $1,000 in t-shirts sitting in a box. You can't spend that money until you move those t-shirts. And it's going to piss you off the worst if they don't move, and you just got to look at it every day.
Start giving shit away and just taking the loss.
Sometimes you have to.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that. But what people have to understand, if you can find your way, if you can find a way, like you said, you was doing made to order.
Right.
So basically, now made to order, if he's selling products that he can make right there at his crib or at wherever he's at, then soon as somebody places an order, he can go in and make it right there. And now that's definitely 100% a smart way to keep it inventory low without having to have it.
You have to be persuasive with that route.
Right.
A lot of people love the convenience of coming to anything customs, just trap.
And just grabbing it.
And just grab it and go. I can go put this on later tonight. A setback that I run into a lot of times, somebody may need something for the weekend. They need it for Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you just came to me on Thursday though. Shit. Damn, this is gonna take me at least 3 days to get done.
Right.
Oh shit. But never mind, I'll just get at you next time.
Right.
So I lost the sale and the photo op.
Right.
An opportunity to get more sales based on that.
Right. So that's pros and cons of the situation. And then you have actual pre-orders,
right,
where you don't even have the merchandise for the next 30 days probably. And now that was one of the concepts of the game that I do admire for these brands that make that work, especially the ones that make it work in the beginning without even having without even having like a following or nothing. They just happen. That's a viral brand, and I'm gonna just be honest with a lot of y'all clothing brands watching. It's not gonna be you that's gonna do that, man. It's only out of 10, it might be one that get that type of viral success without having to put no skin in the game
and
at all.
Even that's online marketing. So that's still sweat equity you gotta put in. That ain't nothing you can just just because I got them, they gonna sell.
Right.
Nah, you gotta have this shit in their face.
You gotta have it in their face. That's the thing that they do. They keep in they master how to market it to you on these social media platforms.
So the quality can be whatever it is. They persistent and it's always in your face. Buy it to see what the quality is.
Exactly. So those are ways, but me and my business model, I always found that the waiting, because like when I have a customer waiting for 4 days because I might have sold out the hoodie in the store. Now I got to get some more hoodies in and make their stuff real quick. So it might be 4-5 days. By that third or fourth day, they already emailing and calling me, when sending me messages and all, when it's gonna ship out here. So I always wondered, like, how do y'all get these niggas to wait 30 days? You know what I'm saying? Like, because they don't even want to wait 30 minutes for mine. So,
but one thing I will say, that's how you can tell who's cultivated the brand.
Yeah,
because they have a base that's willing to wait for a product.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, man. So that's what I would say we would all aspire to do, is to be able to have people wait, to be able to have people buy whatever it is that you put out, to be able to sell out every capsule. That's all the dream with every clothing brand owner would love to have, aspire to have. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, it don't always happen like that. Right. And until that moment does happen, we got to keep working. We got to keep working hard. We got to put it in. We got to stay consistent. We got to stay learning, stay studying the game, stay diligent with this. We can't just be on 1 minute, off the next. You
got to be a student. Style is constantly changing. Trends are constant. Trends do what trends do. They go up and down. They appear sometimes. They disappear. But you got to stay relevant. Stay relevant. Stay relevant. Stay relevant. If I ain't taking anything else this interview, stay relevant.
Stay relevant. Man.
Stay relevant. Keep reinventing the wheel within your own brand.
That's major. That's a major key. Keep reinventing, because I feel like, on personal experience, it would, in the beginning when you first start your brand, right, you be excited. Right. The ideas be flowing. You know, right. You just be in that mode. You just be going crazy. But year after year, you notice this starts to get a little harder to keep going, right. Especially if you're not just a natural graphic designer or not that type of person. To keep it going year after year and to keep on, because 5 years ago they wasn't wearing flared boot cut pants with the half a crop hoodies and all that. It wasn't the thing to wear. You know what I'm saying? So
boot cut jeans without boots,
right? Without, like, you would get, like, boot cut was not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just okay. So now fast forward, now flares and it's getting back wide again, and it's getting loose again. And you, as the clothing brand owner, you have to be able to adapt your brand and reinvent your brand to keep up with what's going on. That gets harder year after year. It don't get easier year after year. It gets harder year after year because times keep changing and you keep having to change with it, and your ideas have to keep going. So that's why in the beginning you might be spicy, spitting them out, but as it go along with time, you have to be the last, man. So that's why a famous quote that I love to tell people, man, is not about who's winning, it's about who lasts, man. It's not about people always talking about who winning, who in the beginning of the race. Nigga, it's about who lasts, man. You could be winning for a season.
Mitch probably don't even remember this shit. Mitch don't. I'm in my creative bag like two years ago.
Yeah.
2, maybe 3 years ago. I'm in my creative bag. I throw a post up on Facebook. Hey, man, let's, out of all the designers in the PD area, let's see who can come up with the best design, and whoever's design gets the most likes, or whoever liked that design the most, whoever would wear it the most, that's who's gonna be the winner. Mm-hmm. Me to say, shit, yeah, you got me straight with the creative shit, but shit, let's talk about how many we gonna sell.
Right.
Look, let's do a business battle. I'm trying to do a graphics versus Mitch. Thing hit me with, yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I can't win with that battle.
What the numbers talking about?
I can't win with that battle. I already know. I picked my battles, and I already know that in that battle, I've been watching, bro. I ain't scared to admit this shit, man. That nigga did some tricks of vinyl I ain't never even thought about. I'm like, man, they got that kind of vinyl too, sprinkles and all type of shit.
I done had folks trying to add provisions to it. Shit, yeah, I do it, but we got to go manufacture. God damn.
Yeah, niggas putting in manufacturing.
God damn.
I got one challenge, man. That's the freaking paperwork, man. That's the only challenge I got to sales, man. That's the only challenge. I don't got no other one. I might not win no other, but I know I can go sell for sale with you.
Right.
I can go sell for sale with you. Let's go January for March, February. You know what I'm saying? I can go with you with that. I can't go with you with nothing else.
I'm saying, man, this fashion shit becomes a brotherhood.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We bounce ideas off each other and we bullshit just like this.
Man, and that's what keep it going. That's what create the culture. And that's what we trying to do. And that's why I try to get people like Stroke on the couch, man, that I know that I could chop it up with, and we can just talk about this. And we always, no matter if we ain't got no cameras on, we always have a good conversation every time we link up. You know what I'm saying? It's always
energy.
yeah, we just always do that. So that's why I wanted to have Bro on the couch, and I knew that it would be an organic show that we wouldn't need to have no specific direction, but it would all come out in the conversation. And if you out there and if you listening, you definitely gonna pick up some game. You definitely gonna pick up some gems. You definitely probably gonna laugh a little bit when you get in the conversation with me and Bro. But it's the message of this whole thing, and what I really want to stress to everybody who might be watching, whether you local in the same city with us or outside, is that this is a community, man. This clothing stuff, this clothing brand, this business, we have to uplift the community, especially in towns like, speaking on Florence, South Carolina, in this type of area like this, where it's not that big of a community, where it's not like a New York or Atlanta, where it's already so advanced. People done already took the lashes that we taking right now. They didn't already did.
We're not a fashion hub. We're not a music hub.
We're not that.
Even within our state, that would go to another city.
Yeah.
So to see the things that Mitch has done and is continuing to do, it's inspiring.
Yeah,
it's inspiring, and I aspire to get to a level as to where my brother is.
Nah, for sure, man, definitely, and it will happen. Man, and that's like that, man. You got another episode on the couch with Track, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's just like that, man, y'all. So make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all tune in. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all follow me, man. BStroke, tell them where they can find you. Tell them
Strokeavelli on Instagram, STROKEAVELE. BStroke on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Last year we went through some things. The Instagram got hacked, so currently that is down. But we will be back and booming. BStroke on Facebook, Strokeavelli on Instagram. Tap in, tune in. And if you love me, I'm back on the couch with Trap. You know what I'm saying? Bring me back on the couch with Trap. I'm definitely gonna have to
get you back on the couch, because I feel like, man, right now it's still more conversation in my brain, but we done already been on here for an hour, and if we keep on going, we'd be on here for another hour, and it should have turned into an episode of Drink Champs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I ain't gonna even do y'all like that out there, man. I'm just gonna let y'all know, man, we probably gonna have a part 2, man, with BStroke, man. Probably gonna get back into the conversation, and man, we gonna let y'all know from there.
But before we go on, man, much appreciated, big brother. Man, I do appreciate you. The conversation that's long overdue.
For real, man. I appreciate it, man. Y'all tune in, subscribe, like, and that's another episode on the couch with Trap, man. We out.
Go.